What's up YouTube, this is Yoshi as usual. I'm Max Bregan, and we're Let's Play Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club. Last time, we got told about a convention, a gaming convention coming up, and we decided to go with Jirard and everybody else in the Normal Boots Club, and everybody in the Hidden Block Club, and also Mice here too, in order to try to... Actually, I don't know if we're here necessarily looking for Princess Pumpernickel, but that's, I guess, sort of a mission that's going on, but also we're just here to hang out with Jirard. So, we're here. And we're now getting going on this convention. The convention hall and the hotel we were staying at were both located smack dab in the middle of the city, surrounded by a torrent of rushing cars and people sprinting down the street. The four of us wandered into the hotel lobby. Mai and I had a room together, being the only two ladies on the trip. Yeah, there are literally the only girls between the two clubs. What is with that? I grabbed the room key and led the way to our temporary home. I pushed open the door and came into a delightfully airy room. It looked relatively clean, and I sighed with relief. It would be nice to have a quiet space to retreat to if I ever felt overwhelmed.
Yay!
Heck yeah! I want to put something out real quick. Running on the assumption that, say, there's 2 to 4 people to a room? How the fuck did a bunch of high school kids afford this? Like, holy crap. These hotel rooms, like... Assuming they're decent hotel rooms, there are a few $100s for a single bed room. And I don't know how many beds the other guys are getting, but I don't know. This looks like a single bed room. Mai sprinted past me and flung herself, luggage and all, straight onto the bed. Mai! Oh my god, I love hotel beds. They're so soft. I call this spot by the window. Whatever you say. Maybe quiet wasn't the right word. Mai and I set our stuff to the side and spent a few minutes gathering our bearings before getting ready to head back outside. Mai, I'm kind of scared. I don't know anything about conventions. I don't want to feel stupid or out of place, and I don't want to have to follow anyone around. Hana. Mai set her fist against my temple, twisting it playfully. You're way too serious. It's just a convention. Either you have a good time or you don't, and then you go home and everyone forgets about it. Sometimes I get the feeling you think if you make one mistake, it's gonna haunt you to your grave. Life is way more forgiving than that. So let's get going. Easy for her to say. She was an entirely different breed of person than I was. Sighing, I followed Mai down to the convention floor. The convention took place across a myriad of rooms. Free play, quiet lounge, merchant's alley, tournament rooms, demonstrations, tiny lecture halls for performances, stages for cosplay contests, and the like. Mai and I headed to the main lobby to get our badges, and found the guys doing the same thing. Man, are you guys excited or what? Am I ever? I heard there's a big celebrity here. They apparently started one of these games or something, and there's a chance to go to the party tonight. I'm just saying, you know where I'll be. You're going too, right, Jared? I don't really know about that. Oh, come on, I can't go alone. I identified myself to the lady at the counter and grabbed my con pass, a small piece of paper tied to a lanyard. I slipped it over my neck.
Hana!
Well, Hana, do you want to take a look around? Sure. Jirard and I started off for the merchant's alley, but as I glanced back, the rest of the crew dispersed. Nobody followed us. There we go. I kept trying to read that in 5 different ways. Wait, where are they going? Everyone has something different they want to see. And I heard some of them wanted lunch, so they're going that way. Lunch? Come to think of it, I was pretty hungry. We didn't eat breakfast in our rush to get to the train. So this is Merchant's Alley. We walked into a giant room, every inch of it lined with tables, booths, and people. Jirard cast his arms to the sides in a grand gesture and nearly clotheslined a man. He drew his hands back in sheepishly and headed for the very first booth. It's not changing from the lobby, and this aggravates me greatly. Because goddamn. Yeah. I glanced across the room, darting from table to booth to stall. There were some things I vaguely knew about, stuff that was on t-shirts and even on TV from time to time. Nario and Nokimon and the like. But there were way too many things that were completely alien to me. Monsters, grizzled old men, designs on t-shirts, plushies, body pillows, action figures, and most of all, piles and piles of video games. Calling BS on that, I went to PAX, and I can verify that the vendor's hall while it does sell video games, I can verify half the stuff listed there, before video games, outnumbers it like 10 to 1. Trust me. It was daunting, and I was completely out of my element. I shook my head. Oh, well, what games have you played? I've never owned a console, so...
Really?
Never! I don't really know what most of the stuff is. I see. Jirard trailed off. Then, with a grunt, he turned to me and saluted. Hana! Yes? Allow me to teach you a thing or two about video games. Teaching me about video games? Was that even something I was really interested in? Aside from a handful of games I played with my neighbor as a kid, I only had my gameless 4DS and my mobile game. Did I really want to be a gamer? Didn't you come here to search for Princess Pumpernickel? Oh. Apparently Jirard remembered, for the first time, his itty-bitty kitty map. He dug around his pocket and withdrew it, his shoulders sagging. Well, in that case, I don't want to drag you around while I do this boring stuff. You could go do something else if you want. Oh jeez. So either I spent my time wandering around the convention alone, or I followed Jirard around like a baby duck? Wait, didn't I make this choice earlier? But if I wasn't going to go with him, what was I going to do? I stick by what I said before. It would probably be best for her to just stay with Jirard. Like, to be fair, that's kind of what we came here to do, look for Princess Pumpernickel. So it's probably best to stay with Jirard, plus this is the dating Jirard game. Or route, anyway. Actually, I'd like to stick with you. If that's okay, I won't get in your way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd love that. Jirard grabbed my hand, smiling at me. Hold on to me. I'll be walking fast, and this way you won't get lost. Okay. His hand warm in mine, we set off into the merchant's alley. The first stop was a short booth in the back of the room, manned by a young black woman. She smiled eagerly as we approached, as almost nobody was near her booth. Since the convention just started, most people are bunched up in the front of the room. It's hard to get past the crowds, and vendors will buy tables towards the front because it's easier to catch people's eyes. People will be caught up in getting the best stuff for the bigger booths, which is good for them, but it's not what we're after.
What's going on?
How are you doing, Charla? He turned to the woman at the booth, who reached underneath her table and pulled out several boxes with IBKs. Oh, you got new stock. You know her? Of course. I know almost everybody who comes to this convention yearly. There are always new people, of course, and it's exciting to get to know them too, but you form relationships with vendors. That's impressive. And I can verify that is true. Is it? I mean, they're just people. Jirard began inspecting the boxes. As he did, I scanned the other merchandise on the table. T-shirts, action figures, statues, games, plushies. I didn't even know what half the stuff was from. I walked up and down the table, Charlotte's eyes watching me warily. Nice hair, girl. What? Oh, thank you. Charlotte smiled at me, popping gum in her mouth. She didn't look to be much older than I was, in fact. On the edge of the table, I found a t-shirt that looked vaguely familiar. On it, several boys stared at me through a hailstorm of rose petals, all wearing bright blue school uniforms. Is this what I think it is? Mai was a fan of this show, wasn't she? Can I get this? Oh, are you a fan of that show? My favorite is Kiyoya. I would date the shit out of Kiyoya. Oh, really? Totally. He's into some kinky shit. I paid for the shirt as she packed it up, talking animatedly about the various moments in the show where she wavered in her loyalty to Kiyoya. I'm totally pronouncing that wrong. Cause, like, Tamaki is cute, and the twins are all mischievous and whatnot, but I can't resist the Kashiku make anything. I mean, Kyoki's not Kashiku, but I bet if he was in a Zero C, he totally would be. Yeah, sure, I agree. Do you? Are you into all that? Because I have some CG compilations I could show you. That's alright, Charla. Jirard stepped in, somewhat panicked, and handed Charla 2 boxes of IBKs. These are in perfect condition, as usual. You already bought these for me, though. They're rare. You can never have enough ammo, you know? I guess not. Charla took Jirard's money, then carefully wrapped the boxes in bubble wrap. As she did so, I pulled Jirard to the side. Jirard, do you know what she was talking about? It would be better if I didn't tell you. You're too innocent for that. Okay, I thought that it was, like, supposed to be a play on Asagao Academy. I mean, how bad could it be? Well, as you can tell, people here are eager to share their interests. It's totally different from back at Asagao. Jirard gestured to the rest of the room, then pointed at a vendor across the way. We're going to see him next, but don't mention Nario to him. He'll start with the first game and talk your ear off through his experiences with each. That girl over there will try to sell you body pillows if you mention any female character from any anime. They're all her waifus. And that guy, he's got 3 kids, so all his stuff is very kid-friendly. He feels like kid-friendly entertainment is underrated, so if you tell him you like one of those shows, he'll give you a discount. Everyone seems really nice here. Everyone's used to feeling like an oddball or not having people to talk to about what they like. I guess I wasn't prepared for that. What do you think you were going to find? I guess I just thought they would be like regular employees in a department store, kind of tired and over it. All these people are here because they've got some kind of passion or interest in what they do. Even if that interest is primarily monetary or creative, they still find it interesting. They still relate to the people they're selling to. Here you go. Charlotte leaned across the table and handed Jirard a thick bag. Jirard peered inside. Aw, Charlotte, you didn't have to give me that. He pulled out a small pink Turby doll and beamed at Charlotte. I wanted to give your girlfriend something to match her hair. She's cute. Thanks. That's real sweet of you. Hana. This is yours. Was he not even going to respond to that? Charlotte waved to us as Jirard shepherded me to the next stop in the row. As we continued around the room, I started getting a sense of the culture of the convention and why people wanted to come here. I didn't have many expectations going into it, but it was a place where it seemed like people could relax and be ridiculously enthusiastic about whatever they loved without getting weird looks. In fact, half of what they enthused about was met with the same, if not even more enthusiasm. It was still early in the morning, and it was almost tiring to watch it all happen, especially when I didn't know much about what any of it was. It was strange. At Asagao, I was a fairly normal person. I had some nerdy interests, but nothing on the level of this. Here, I felt like an outsider. Just like Charlotte, people would start talking about something with the assumption I knew what they were saying. I barely even knew anything about Nario, let alone obscure game titles or anime shows. It was beautiful, but it was lonely.
Hey, Hana.
Hana, you okay? Huh? Yeah, sorry, I was just spacing out a bit. Okay, we're almost done here, so it'll only be a bit longer. Sorry you had to sit through all this, I know it can't be fun for you. No, I like it, I swear. Jirard didn't seem to believe me, but he went back to haggling the store owner for some kind of rare fantasy figurine. When he finally finished, we left the market and stepped into the hallway. All at once, cool air hit me, and I felt like I could breathe. Yeah, as soon as you leave the marketplace, you're just immediately like, oh my god, oxygen, thank god. I didn't realize it was so hot in there. Yeah, it could get pretty bad. Body heat, you know. So, was something bothering you in there? You seem sad. No, of course not. Jirard narrowed his eyes, staring at me as if I should know better. There was no way he could see through me so easily. No way. It's fine if you don't want to tell me, but don't think I can't tell. Damn it. I just feel a little left out here. I don't know much about this culture. You guys all grew up loving this stuff, and I didn't really have access to it. Is that all? That's no problem. Jirard wrapped an arm around my shoulder and swung me back toward the marketplace. You've come to the right place. I will tell you all you need to know about any game, right down to the completion bonuses for each and every one. Jirard, I don't think this is necessary. Nonsense. If you don't know something, it's never too late to learn. Let's go. For another hour, Jirard and I stood at the very first booth in the marketplace, getting jostled by people flooding into and out of the doors. Jirard told me the names of characters, the details of plots, the completion bonuses, and little bits of trivia that I never knew. Eventually, they all started swirling together, and my mind started to spin. It didn't help that some of the plots were impossibly complicated. So what I'm saying is, Xehanort is sort of all those 4 other guys, except not all of them are him, but sometimes those not hims possess other people, and those are separate from him.
Exactly.
But one of them is a good guy. Finally, we emerged from the room, my head chock full of names and tidbits that I was positive I would never fully understand. So, feel any better? Yes, definitely. Way better. Like, so much.
Awesome.
Great. We should probably meet up with the others now. They've probably been waiting. Yes! Good idea. Perfect. I like it. Let's go. Oh my god. That is bumping the microphone. That's great. Jirard was passionate about everything he did, but for the first time, I realized that wasn't always a good thing. The free play room was pretty much just a dimly lit corridor lined with arcade machines, TVs, and computers chained to cinder blocks on the floors. Tables filled with people playing card, tabletop, and board games, though how they could see in the dim lighting I didn't even know. Jirard led me through the end of the room and around a corner, where there was a hidden seating area filled with people who were simply taking a break.
Hey guys.
Hey everybody! Somehow, as if by magic, everybody happened to converge in the free play room at the exact same time. Mai bopped along behind Jirard and PPG, and I rushed to her side. Mai, I got something for you. You like this, right? I fished the shirt I bought from Charlotte out of my bag and handed it to her. Truthfully, it wasn't as though I could afford to go buying presents for people, but I wanted to do something special for Mai. Oh my god, Tamaki is so hot! Thank you, Hana. No problem. I'm glad you like it. How was your expedition? Oh, Hana, I'm in heaven. You have to win the tournament for the good of everyone. Uh-huh. Everyone. Yeah, okay, mostly me, but I'll tell you more about it later. She pointed to the guys who were staring at us expectantly. Pardon? Where do you guys want to go eat? John's got this pizza place that's apparently super good. That works for me, right, Mai? Sorry, Hana. I'm actually going out with some friends. With some friends? Mai clasped her hands together as if in prayer. Yeah, I found some cute guys who want to take me for food. I don't know if I can bring you along. I'm sorry. Mai really had a way with people. A way that I didn't understand. That's okay. I'll see you back at the room later, right?
Yeah!
Yeah, we can totally catch up. Well, if that's settled, let's go. I didn't end up seeing much of Mai that day, or the next. At first, I was a little worried that I wouldn't fit in without Mai to hang on to, but as the hours passed and the days went by, my worries faded away. After all, Jirard was always by my side. He was always worrying about me, always making sure I knew what references were referring to and that I didn't feel quite so lonely. He paid so much attention to me and was so kind that it was almost overwhelming. Jirard constantly did things for me and kept me in his thoughts. Meanwhile, here I was, doing what? What was I doing for him? How was I helping him? As the weekend went on, I found myself questioning it more and more. There must be something more I could do to help Jirard, but what? Finally, it was the night before we were set to go back to Asagao. The days of hanging out with Jirard in the Normal Boots Club, of sassing the Hidden Block Club and secret Nerf wars in the halls were over. Even the convention goers themselves drastically thinned out. Suddenly it was possible to go places without rubbing up against several sweaty strangers, and restaurant workers actually smiled at you when you ordered. I snuggled up under the blankets of my bed, just laying there enjoying the warmth and relaxation. The next day, everything would be gone. All the carefree fun, the lack of stress, the bonding, the new things and the excitement and the chance to spend so much time with Jirard. Yeah, the end of a convention is always sad. Also, usually it comes with a very long car drive / plane trip / train / bus / whatever. All of it would be gone. But that was okay. After the practice and knowledge I gained, I was more ready than ever to go back to Asagao and kick some hidden block ass. I giggled to myself, glad that Mai was at the last convention party of the trip. No doubt she'd have some wild stories to tell when I finally had time to see her. Someone knocked at my door, interrupting my thoughts. I glanced at the clock, 10 p.m. What could they want? I went to the door and stood on my tiptoes, peering through the peephole. Familiar spectacles greeted me through a fisheye view.
Satch.
Satch, is something wrong? Is Jirard with you? I know you were hanging out a lot this weekend. Satch tried to peer past me into my room, but I shook my head. The last I saw of him was at dinner, and then I came back here. Is he okay? He hasn't come back yet, and I'm worried. He wanted to get to sleep early so that he would be awake for the ride back.
What?
You don't think something happened to him, do you? No, he's probably fine. I'm just worried. I think we're going to go look for him. Thanks for your help, Hana. Wait! I stepped into the hallway, pulling the door shut behind me. I'm coming with you. Thanks. He's luring you into a trap, Hana! Don't do it! While Satch and the others searched inside the convention center, I walked up and down the street outside of it. Jirard said something about wanting to check out the shops nearby for Princess Pumpernickel, right? I walked from one end of the block to the other and back again, too terrified of roaming the city alone to make it much further. Yeah, cities at night, scary as shit. Surely he was somewhere around here, though. Surely he wouldn't have gone too far. Huh? What was that? An odd snoring kind of noise was coming from just inside the alleyway to my right. Was it a homeless person, or... I swallowed heavily, heart pumping fast. If it was Jirard, and I just left him out here, he'd definitely get mugged. Mugged and beaten and probably even kidnapped. Be strong, Hana. Be strong. Be strong for Jirard. I tiptoed quietly into the alleyway. There, slumped against a brick corner, sat a sleeping Jirard, a small brown paper bag in his hands. Jirard! Jirard! I shook him by the shoulder, but he was completely non-responsive. I took up my phone to send a quick text to Satch, then remembered I never got his number. Damn it! I squatted next to Jirard, slightly smacking him across the face. I didn't want to leave him there to go find the others. Maybe if I could wake him up? Jirard blinked heavily, staring sleepily at me. Jirard? I grabbed his hand and pulled him with all my might. We've got to get you back to your room, come on. He shook his head vigorously, clearly having no desire to leave his nice, comfy, abandoned alleyway slumped against a brick wall position. Jirard, come on! This time I smacked him hard across the face, and his eyes opened. He turned to look at me and nodded thoughtfully. Ellipses? Are you coming? I gave his arm a tug, and he got to his feet, nodding again. Okay. Come on, let me get you to your room. If there was ever anything I did that made me look like someone who needed to be immediately incarcerated, this was it. I was leading Jirard like a blind man, narrating the obstacles in the hall and trying to clarify exactly where I was taking him. Every time his eyelids drooped, I gave him a hard smack across the face, hotel employees whispering behind their hands. I am going to give you so much shit for this when we get back. Finally, I managed to pull him to his room, which happened to look exactly like my room, but then again it's a hotel, and fish his keycard out of his pocket. Feeling like some kind of thief, which admittedly wasn't that bad of a feeling, I pushed him into his room and shut the door. Jirard teetered on his feet like some kind of tower in the wind, and I nudged him towards the bed by poking him in the belly. Stop it! Stop it! You deserve worse than this for what you put me through tonight! I pulled the sheets back and shoved him into bed. He curled up with a happy sigh. Stupid. He wrapped his hands around his pillow and buried his face into it, happy as a kid in a cloud. It was kind of hard to be angry at him when he was being like that. Silly. I grabbed the edge of Jirard's blanket, carefully pulling it over his sleeping form. Thank you. Don't worry about it, Jirard. No, really. Thanks for being there for me. Jirard smiled into his pillow, and slowly his breathing steadied out. Just like that, he was asleep. Silly kitty. An alarm clock by the bed caught my eye, and I suppressed a giggle. An itty-bitty kitty alarm clock. He brought an itty-bitty kitty alarm clock with him. Of course he did. You're the silliest person I've ever met. In the IRL. I gazed at his sleeping face. He looked so relaxed, so calm. Excuse me. I swept a lock of hair from his forehead. Then I was seized with the impulse to kiss him, and my face flushed. Could I... No, he was sleeping. Get a grip on yourself, Hana. The door opened, and a nervous Satch burst through. Hana! Jirard. So you found him. One of the hotel staff told me a pink-haired girl was dragging a man with kittens on his shirt up to some room. I hoped it was you. It's a good thing we're leaving tomorrow. You probably all think I'm trying to kill you guys. I know, that's terrible. It's supposed to be my job. Death by cuteness. Anyways, I need to get going. I've got to get up early tomorrow, you know. I do. Thanks for your help, Hana. You're a great friend. He grinned mischievously at me, and I swallowed hard. Right, so see you tomorrow. I raced back to my room, face aflame. Was I really that obvious? Satch was the worst. Whew. We will continue this in the next episode, because I think that's a good point to end off on. So the convention is over, we're heading back to Asagao, and Jirard manages to fall asleep in alleys somehow. I don't get it. Anyway, I've been Max, and we'll see you next time for more Dating of the Completionist. Whoosh! Boom, boom.